I wanted to include one where the first coefficient is not 1, so we can think about that a little bit more. So my possibilities here, well, I can look at my graph a little bit here real quick to see a little sneak peek. Looks like each one of these blocks are 2, so I'm looking at -4 myself. That's what I'm looking at. That doesn't look like a whole number. That looks like some kind of fraction. And then that looks like it's right between 2 and 4, so maybe that's 3. I don't know, we're just guessing here. But what would this one be in the meantime? Let's see, if this is 2 and that's 1, maybe that's -1/2, something like that. These are our guesses. We're just guessing. But in the meantime, let's see what the possibilities are. We take 12 on top, so plus or minus 1, 2, 3. 4 goes with 3 to make 12. 6 goes with 2. 1 goes with 12. These are on top. On the bottom, I have my 3, so I have 1 or 3 on the bottom. So my possibilities are 1, I'm going to say plus or minus 1 time out in front. 1 over 1, 2 over 1, 3 over 1, 4, all these numbers over 1. And then I'm going to say over 3. 1 over 3, and let's see, 2 over 3. Yes, not 3 over 3 because I already have 1. 4 over 3. 6 over 3, I already have 2. And 12 over 3, I already have 4. Okay, so those are my possibilities right there. Alright. And I'm kind of zeroed in on the -4 and probably the +3. And I said 1/2, but maybe that's really -1/3, huh? So we'd say the -4 and the -1/3. That's kind of what I'm thinking, those 3. I know it's hitting in 3 places. They may not be rational, so those might not work, but it's worth a try. So let's find all these real zeros. And so we'll say, we'll start with -4. And I put 3 for x to the 3rd, 4 for x squared, -35 for x, and -12 for the constant. And let's see what we get. We bring down the 3 and we multiply by -4, that's -12. That gives me a -8 when I add it to the 4. -4 and -8 make +32. That gives me a -3 when I combine -3 when I combine it with -35. And a -3 and a -4 make a +12, which combined with -12 gives me 0. So that is a factor. And so I know one of my factors is x plus 4. And my root is -4 to go with that +4. Let's go ahead and keep trying with the 3. Why not? We have 3, the leftovers here. Instead of trying to factor it, why not? The 3 comes down. I say 3 times 3 is 9. That's 1. 3 times 3, there we go. So 3 is another factor, so x minus 3. And then what's left over here? I have 3x plus 1. That's what's left over. And it turns out that if I put in a -3 there, that will also work for me. So the other factor is x plus 1/3, because that goes with negative. And so all of my suspicions were true, except that this should have been 1/3, okay? Not 1/2. I didn't know what the possibilities were when I wrote that. Okay, so x equals -3, and it also equals 3, and it also equals -4. Those are the 3 places where it hits. So those are my zeros. Those are my roots. They're all real. They're all real. Well, it asked me for all real. Okay, fine. So I guess I wasn't even looking for the other. But anyway, it's nice that I had all 3 of them. And how do I know there were 3? Well, x to the 3rd. I had to have some kind of 3 of something, either real or imaginary, rational or irrational, something.